feelings. I know you wanna steal it. Want it, then come and get it. You want it, then come and get it. You want it, then come and get it. Hold up, wait a minute.
The Degen Huddle Week 14 is done. The regular season is over. And this guy right here did not make the playoffs. I busted my butt for no reason. But you know what? I got a guest like we love to do every week. We got our boy Clay. What up, Clay?
What it do, baby?
Bro, tell me you made the playoffs because
No,
I had
sure
no chance. No.
I sure didn't. It's a bad scene out here for your boy.
Oh my God, it's so bad. And I'll bring Jungle Goat up here in a minute because him being our trusted waiver wire guy and trade guru, I went to him and Doughboy when Drew came to me and said, hey, I want Lamar Jackson and I'll give you DeAndre Swift and I'll give you something else. We were like, whoa. Lamar Jackson has done nothing for me, Clay.
It's tough, man. I got Lamar in quite a few leagues. I drafted a bunch of best ball. It's a hard scene out here, man. It's a lot of landmines in these draft streets of 2022. So, yeah, I feel you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this KFFL kind of showed me, hey, this is what happens when you put a whole bunch of sports-related Degens in a real fantasy league, because I couldn't pick up people on waiver wires. I wasn't able to get anybody I really wanted. And it's just painful putting on a show every week that everybody else is winning $300.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, this group was on top of it. I expected nothing less. I thought it was going to be competitive.
Right.
The spirit of everything. Like, it's just, I think it's a good testament to a lot of things that we're building right now that will be coming out like towards like Q1 of this coming year, contest related wise and such. So I think we're just laying the groundwork there, man. But it's cool to see people, motherfuckers had alerts on. That's for sure. We had the tweet text alerts on for Shefty and for Field Yates and Underdog. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, shout out though. It's really cool to see.
Yeah,
definitely a competitive league. Not casual in certain senses, except for a few people who may or may not have, forgot to set lineups and such here towards the end. We might get into that later.
Yeah, we definitely have to get into one, and it's going to be a good topic, I promise you. So, bro, let's check out. Here's the top scorers and players for all of Sleeper this past week. How about Evan Ingram? 39 points. I've had this man on my team for like 7 weeks. Something told me to put him in the lineup, bro, and it paid off awfully.
You got lucky on that one.
I really did. Lawrence, 34. Jefferson, 33. Judy, 33. McKinnon, 32. Hurts, 31. McCaffrey, 29. Your boy. Jamar Chase, 29. Miles Sanders, 29.
Formerly.
Yeah, formerly. Any of these guys on your team, Clay? Anybody damage for you?
No, definitely not. No, let me see. Let me pull up my squad here. No. Had a bad week for sure. And yeah, not a single one of these players is on my KFFL team. So that's good times. Yeah, really.
Yeah. Did you win this week?
No.
All right. Well, we've learned with all of our guests, if this list comes out and one of them on there is not on your team, that nobody's won. That's come on the show that week. Right?
Down bad. Literally, like my best run of it was when I had the friendly wager with Jungle Goat, and we had a 2-week, was it 11 and 12? I think it was, where we bet for the Steeds, and I like literally scraped by with we both had some pretty abysmal lineups and weeks going, but squeaked that one out, and then a complete nosedive right back to reality here. So yeah, my squad
that was against Jungle Goat.
Yeah.
Did you lose money in another bet, bro? What is going on?
So I want to say I made 10 Steeds bets this season, and I believe I went 3 and 7.
Oh,
and Steeds were escape the stable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's some loose verses. I had 3 losses by less than 3 points.
It's fucking brutal.
Wow. First of all, you've lost more Steeds than I own, so that's kind of crazy, bro. All right. Well, the guy can give you great advice when it comes to waiver wire. He just doesn't bet against the right people. Tom freaking Hanks in the chat.
Yeah, it's
He
facts.
even, of
Though.
course, has a career day everywhere in my leagues, and I somehow beat him.
Honest to God, if you were to combine the totality of Evan Ingram's fantasy output from his entire career in the NFL, I still don't think it surpasses what he scored this last fucking week. Like, my goodness, man, talk about a fucking career day.
I think I've had him on my list to add every single week because he's just always been there.
I was a believer.
I've
I
had
invested in Kirk and Zay Jones though, so for me it was like I just want all those touchdowns to keep going to those guys, and this Evan Ingram shit, like get out of here, man. What are you doing? You're like you're messing it up.
Guys, let's check out the top scorers of the week. KFFL top
I'm not on there.
scorer. Yeah, me either. ER Spence, bro, 194.87.
Oh, I see our guy TJ on there. Okay, TJ.
Yeah, Toby with the 179. Badge W, 178. Evening Jones, 172. And Mark Robb, 166.63. Yo, 194 is pretty dope.
Yeah, that's lapping it. That's like the Millie Maker winner this last week on DraftKings. They beat the field. I think it was like by like 20 points or some shit. Like just absolutely crazy, but kind of similar situation here, man. That team must have had. That team definitely had Evan Ingram. That team definitely had. Who else popped off?
He had
Jefferson.
Lawrence,
Yeah,
Homer, Eckler, Gallup,
Judy.
Judy
Judy finally showed up.
Ingram. I mean, even you had a good day when even the Chiefs are giving you 15 points on your defense. I'm happy when I get like 3 points on my defense every week, instead of negative points. Yeah.
I might put in the vote. Week. I might put a vote in for the Dow in the future, the Degen Dow to adapt the rules where there's no defense next year. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
I like defense better than kicker, but I think I'd support that overall.
Kicker's trash for like real money. I don't.
Yeah, I'm about to say no kicker, but I'm okay with no defense too. But if you're telling me kicker in place of defense, no thanks.
I would honestly rather go like an extra
kicker
flex.
Oh yeah, I'm always for adding more positions, but I have seen people do like a DST kicker flex, and so whatever.
Clay, it looks like you've got a fan in the chat. I'm not familiar with who's that guy? Suki D is, but it seems like he's crushing hard.
Flattering.
All right, Jungle Go, we got your first question of the night. Thomas Crowther says, is Goddard going to be healthy this week? I need him back.
It's
not looking right.
No, I think it's trending that way.
Sounds like
it's still going to be a little bit of a dicey start, but if he's in there, you probably got to start him.
There you go.
Matchup's nice. They're playing Chicago, I believe, right?
Yeah, at Chicago.
Off a few early drafts today for the Week 15 slate. Yeah, I think it's against Chicago. I mean, it's Goddard, right? Like you got to fire him up at this point. It's like if you don't have Kelsey who knows about Mandrews? Quarterback situation is very, very up in the air. Not even sure if Huntley's playing or not. So yeah, it kind of goes down quickly to Goddard and Hawkinson, and then you're looking at guys like my boy Njoku and others. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but the best tight end in the league is Evan Ingram.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, let's not forget here.
If you extrapolate his Week 14 across the season, he's setting all kinds of records.
Look, if your sample size here is within the last 7 days, he's the greatest tight end on earth.
First of all, Sir Pizza, we put respect on it when you log in with the right one that says it's Sir Pizza in the chat. Now, it's your fault. If you're showing up as Thomas Crowther, you're announced as Thomas Crowther. Okay, Thomas?
Yeah, not even Tom. Damn.
I know. He didn't even give him the Tom. I changed my PFP and update my name, and no one knows who I am because we like the pizza.
Who the fuck's Thomas?
Get this Tom guy out of here.
It's also the equivalent to wearing a mask. Like, of course, nobody knows who you are.
Just change your PFP. Pizza, I can't do it, bro. Change your name, bro. If not, we're just going to keep making Thomas jokes for the rest of the night. Thomas. All right, so let's do this real quick before we jump into a lot of the other stuff. Why don't we break down a little bit of the waiver wires, Jungle Go?
Okay. It's an interesting week.
With quarterback?
Might as well start at the top. There's not anybody I'm terribly excited about. I think if Mike White's playing, I think is a good start. Detroit is getting smoked still. Their run defense has improved. Their pass defense is still they've essentially created like a pass funnel. And the Jets aren't scared to throw with Mike White or if it ends up being Flacco, I mean, I could even see playing Flacco, especially in a super flex league. I made that trade for Lamar, and he's not going to play. And I've got Geno against the Niners on a short week, so I might be playing Mike White in the first round of KFFL playoffs here. I'm also hoping to get him in a super flex to play him over Brady.
Yeah, dude. You know me. I'm a big Mike White fan right now. I mean, especially after the way that boy got
the Jets
rocked.
guy. Yeah, they're just the Zach.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike White.
I mean, the kid's
well,
tough.
thanks, Clay.
That second hit, he got folded like a suitcase.
That
hurt me.
Quick shout out to my guys, the Badge Bros, who've been doing some amazing content and stuff too. And they were talking up a little bit as like a sneaky play that applies here for some waiver wire conversation with Matt Ryan going against the Vikings. Kind of bad defense, which is just, that feels so gross. Not something that was on my radar initially this morning when I woke up. But shout out to Numi and John and the Badge Bro guys, who are some night holders and night fans as well. But yeah, that's a cheeky little one. And then, I mean, I can't imagine there's a league in the KFFL right now that has Jerick McKinnon on the waiver wire. But if you're in the playoffs and he's out there, like, that is a home run smash. I've seen him show up on some lists, but I gotta imagine
65% rostered on Sleeper. There's no way he's
that's
one ours, especially with
mad light. No. That's what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Is like our league is way too on top of it. But check if he's available, he's a league winner in some capacities, and I can put Pacheco too. But he could just, it's Mahomes, man. Anything's possible.
Yeah, your Jarvis in a little just inconsistent volume. He's not a guy, I wouldn't call him a must start, but the upside's as high as anybody's. And
sometimes you just got to shoot for that, especially if you're going for that, the points race format, top, guy as well. So
I'd be starting McKinnon if I could get him this week in KFFL.
Bro, McKinnon's better than half my goddamn roster. So yeah.
Tom freaking Hank says, who do I play over Tom Brady? I can't, right? All right, I'm gonna give my opinion first, Jungle.
Yeah, who else you got?
I feel like obviously it's a big question right now, right? Because of the way it's gone this season, but I feel like we're about to see that Tom Brady time. We need to have that push. Tom's gonna do that thing to get them in the playoffs with their whopping 6-7 record or 7-6. They're in that hunt. They're
in the hunt right now. They're in, if I'm not mistaken.
They're in right now, but they don't control their own destiny necessarily. And Carolina is the only team that does for.
That's fucked up. As a reformed Panthers fan, like, what the fuck? 2 weeks ago, we had the goddamn second pick in the draft. Like, that sounded a lot better. Like, what are we doing out here?
2 weeks ago, you had a Baker Mayfield on your team.
That's fine too. I'm fine getting rid of his ass. But
bro, in what world does Baker Mayfield get cut and Sam Darnold still has a job? Like, this season is weird, just completely weird to me.
Just bring back Cam.
And they weren't isolated events.
I'd be the happiest guy. I'd be the happiest guy. Just bring back Cam.
That did not work out well last time.
Mr. Charlotte himself.
His arm is toast. Bucks against Bengals. Bengals have looked pretty strong. Just getting Reader back. You can't really run against them, so they're not bringing as many guys in the box as they don't have to. It's a lot harder to throw on them, and they could definitely get some pressure. Brady cannot handle the pressure, and their line is not good. I would start, guys that are under 60% rostered in Sleeper. I would start Mike White. I would start Daniel Jones. I'd start Brock Purdy at Seattle on Thursday. And then it gets a little dicey where you're the Tannehill, Mac Jones kind of guys where, maybe you just trust the history of Brady over those guys. But, if you know Purdy's playing, I'll start Purdy over him. And Daniel Jones for sure, even a tough matchup. He's just got that leg base. Although
is Jared Goff an option?
Hell yeah.
If he is, he's 60-some% rostered, so I doubt he's available. But if you have him, I would definitely start Jared Goff, although that's not a good matchup either.
No, it's not. But Lions are cranking right now. And, at least they're showing, competence on offense and the ability to throw the ball as well. So, it's Jared fucking Goff. But there's times where my guy's slinging out here. He can hit. We've seen 400 from him before. So it's not like the craziest thing of all time, but the matchup's not as great. But I think you just gotta trust it. They're hot. And
it is outside, and that secondary is nasty. So I think there'll be a lot of dink and dunks. But I mean, they've got Amon-Ra's as good a slot guy as anybody else in the game. You finally got guys catching the, Swiss back, catching out of the backfield a little
Jets,
bit.
right? They're going against Sauce. Yeah, it's tough.
But I mean,
It's
got.
tough. But if Amon-Ra's in the
catching...
slot, then hypothetically he's not seeing as much Sauce, right? Because he doesn't go inside and he doesn't shadow people into the slot, right? He's strictly outside corner.
Everybody gets a piece of the sauce. All right.
I really liked
sauce, you know what I'm saying?
I really picked up and started DJ Chark in 2 different playoffs last week, and I just can't start him this week.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's tough. I think if I knew for certainty or a near certainty, like from people who are more intelligent football wise than I am, who understand matchups and shit, I am a little bit at this point, like, corners don't matter, but at the same time, like, it's fucking Sauce Gardner. This guy shut out a lot of good people this year. So if I knew that, the Sun God was going to line up with the slot and have a little bit more of an opening on the field, theoretically speaking, and find the soft spot of that Jets D, that's entertaining to me. But otherwise, that's a pass. Still like Goff though. But there are worse options than Goff.
Metaverse said, "Did I just hear Brady and Can't in the same sentence?" I got a question for you, Jungle. Sam Darnold. Why is he not on the waiver wire list?
Because he's on my team already. That's how bad my team is.
Is he?
I'm just kidding. He's not on this one. He's on a couple though, which is also sad.
I mean, he's rostered in all my super flex leagues.
Yeah, that's the thing. It got bad. I did. The fucked up thing on this KFFL team, I did draft Baker Mayfield, and I'm not happy about that. I wasn't happy about it, but I pushed quarterback way too long. I went Saquon and CD with my first 2 picks, ate a nice chunk of my fab, but I was in a good spot. And then, or not fab, but my budget. And then had a nice run. I got a lot of players I liked. I just waited I got way too cute at quarterback. I got to the end. I was like, I just need a starting quarterback. And it didn't last very long with Baker Mayfield. Jared Goff is my starting quarterback. And then picked up Daniel Jones as well.
I mean, he's a quarterback one on the year. You could do worse.
What up, Dylan? What up? Space Cowboy in the chat.
I think you got to have some brass balls to start Sam Darnold. Like, the Panthers' offense has looked different, and they're competent, but it's all through the run. Both Hubbard and Foreman are flex type guys right now. Not starting a pass catcher, and I don't know. The thing about Darnold is he's always kind of guy who gets you a rushing touchdown or two. He's done it so many times that you kind of have to think that it's possible, but that's a desperation play.
I don't love it.
All right, fine. So I asked the question. All right. What up, Sarbeza in the chat just now?
Question's great and all, but don't love it.
All right. Well, was there any other quarterbacks you want to touch on, Jungle?
No.
We're good there?
No, I got Mike White's my top guy at 23%. He's probably available. I know he is in my KFFL division. James Jones at 54 is not. Purdy at 13. It's just the health risk on the Thursday game. And then I got Tannehill and Mac Jones listed, just if that's what you're going for. But hopefully you're in a better position if you're in the playoffs. Yeah, I'm not. So you might not be. Out. I mean, I am in the playoffs, but I am not in a better quarterback position going into this week. So
how about this one, Clay? Wisco Badgers 178-17 versus Max 93 67-87.
See, 67-87 to me is like they set a lineup, perhaps.
Right.
Some of these are like so fucking bad where it's like, all right, you didn't set a lineup. But where it gets really interesting and kind of cheeky is like, all right, well, who set a lineup? And it just didn't go well. To be honest, though, I didn't score many more points than that this week. So I'm not in a position to really
Clay's like, and I did set my lineup.
I did. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did. I would like to say I did because it's a fucking goose egg from my boy T. Higgins. That was brutal.
Oh, that hurt a lot of people.
Yeah. That was tough, man. It cost me quite a bit of
smoke in the chat.
Well, it turned out he actually got hurt in pregame, and nobody knew that. So they put him out there. He ran one route, so he qualified for everything, like bet wise. If your book's kind of stingy like that, and then
and especially in like DFS and stuff too. It was just it was bad.
Here's the lineup he had: Prescott, Cook, Andre Stevenson, Brown, Moore, Adams, Kelsey, Homer, and the Raiders D. So he did set a lineup. He just got shafted.
Well, and I mean,
respect it.
I thought James Cook would do better after coming off of his best game of his career. Ramondre got hurt. DJ Moore, I think that's his average stat line, so that's not bad on the 0.6 there.
Max is looking stacked for next week against Sir Lake. I don't know. Jury's out. Let me see Sir Lake. Now, I'm going to pull one up that I know Clay really wants to talk about. While I go grab that foul, Jungle, let's jump into some of the running backs that you think we should be taking.
These are not running backs.
That's there's your quarterbacks, bro.
Vanilla Jones.
Let's do wide receivers. The button worked that time. I'll go get
right. So Zay Jones, another guy just with Evan Ingram that I think I brought up 13 times this year. He's been great. I started him in a couple games, and he might be a league winner. I don't know. I don't love playing him this week. I actually think Jacksonville might compete against Dallas, especially since they look pretty poor against Houston, and they're really kind of trending the right way. But I don't know. I actually think Elijah Moore is probably my guy that I want to add right now. Corey Davis is unlikely to play, and Detroit's gonna give it up. So he's gotten 16 targets over the last 2 weeks. He went from wanting to be cut to being an integral part of that offense. So I think I really like that play. Chark is a guy I want to have on my roster. I don't want to start him this week, though. I think he's going to see a lot of that sauce. And then kind of like you were talking about earlier with Matt Ryan, I think Paris Campbell against that Vikings, they're getting torched in the passing game. And Paris Campbell gets a ton of targets. And, it doesn't take much, especially in a PPR league, to get a nice, 10 to 12 point floor with upside. So I think Paris Campbell's a pretty nice wide receiver 3, like a high-end wide receiver 3 in PPR this week. But, you do need Matt Ryan to throw that ball to him. So
yeah, it was crazy when you brought up Moore, because Moore was on everybody's rosters for a while. And then it was like week 3, he made that complaint about wanting to be traded, and everybody dropped him. Right. So seeing him now at 30% is way higher than it was over the last couple of weeks.
Well, he got that, he has one of the best quotes of the year where they asked him if he had chemistry with Zach Wilson. He goes, "Fuck should I know? He doesn't throw me the ball."
Yeah.
I don't know if we do or not.
But now that we've got the best quarterback in the NFL, he's probably a really good pickup for people. Oh, sorry. Did I say that loud? Clay.
Well, for a second, I thought about Chris Moore for the Texans, and I was like, I don't remember a lot of people climbing and getting him.
Yeah, no.
Brandon Cooks is on a beach somewhere. He's done with this season. And Nico Collins, I think he's questionable or doubtful. So if Moore's the guy, he's going to get targets. You could do worse. Zay Jones is a guy who has gotten weeks where he's only gotten a couple targets. He just had two receptions, 2 weeks ago even. So I think you could bet on the targets for Moore being higher at least. Now what he does with them, a little different. But
is there any benefit for me to even bother with the waiver wires now that I'm out in the playoffs? I should just
if there's a team in your league that you don't really like and they have a need, you could just grab 8 tight ends or whatever their need is.
Oh, just be a blocker. All right.
You can.
Nice.
I've done it in my home league. Buddy, I didn't want to win. I was like, oh man, he's short at quarterback. I'm going to stock up.
These are like when the rules get really nuanced and stuff. Like I'm in some leagues and I kind of appreciate this. Like once you're eliminated, like your FAB goes to 0, you can't bid on players and shit like that. So you don't fuck. But then again, and right now, right? Like people are still able to compete for the division championship. They're still able to compete for the highest points for. So there are elements of reasons why you want to still participate and keep playing, which is intentional. So for those reasons, we're not going to cut off people's ability to make roster moves and stuff because
especially in leagues too that have punishments for last. Like people still got to be able to make moves.
Yeah, true.
We just had a buddy of ours step in backstage, one of our hosts of KOD University survey. So what up, bro?
What's up, fellas? How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. You must. Let me guess. You made the playoffs because you're smiling.
I barely made it. I was in the win and you're in. I was playing the guy who whoever won was in, and Boyd went out early, and I got ahead. And good thing because Murray didn't make it 5 minutes. So I'm in. I'm pumped.
Oh, you won with Kyler.
I won with Kyler. Yeah. I mean, he had a rough week. He had a
That's
rough week.
crazy.
So I did want to talk some quarterbacks. And I do want to say, I think I just did the count on Zay Jones, 43 targets over the last 4 weeks. So he had 2 catches that other night.
Yeah, it's
2
what, out of
weeks
7,
ago.
right?
But he's been, I mean, they've been feeding him.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
It's tough not
I
to
was
play.
like, yeah.
But there was one quarterback that wasn't mentioned. And I mean, Deshaun Watson. What do we do with Deshaun Watson?
You send him to a massage
Oh.
parlor. Oh,
Yeah.
2 farms.
I mean-
He cut himself.
Yeah, you know, it's a sad.
Oh,
Oh, we lost your sound.
that's
Basil.
audio.
He can't hear us. Kids, you know what? Let's just
We-
watch. Everybody just keep shaking your head like you're an ingredient. He has no idea.
Mm.
He has no. Teresa, we can't hear you, bro. I just took his
So-
He's probably backstage still talking.
We didn't mention Watson because his roster percentage is well over our threshold.
threshold.
But you know, I have him stashed on all my Superflex leagues. Been riding him for weeks. I haven't played him once. Looked a little better last week, but not great. I don't know. I'm not playing him this week.
It's fine. You got him.
Yeah.
Assume
Try
everybody's
you
got him.
again.
Has got him. You know.
Yeah, I listen. It didn't feel great, but you.
All right. Leave and come back, Cerveza.
Plus, the Ravens D. Ever since they got linebacker from the Bears, I think his name.
Khalil?
No. They made
Wait,
that
who are we
mid-season
even talking
trade.
about?
The Ravens. They grabbed that linebacker from the Bears, former first-round pick. I can't think of his name. Anyways, ever since they got him, their defense has been stout. So
Here's a question for you guys. Thomas Crowther would like to know, I have Watson and Fields. Am I going with Fields?
Browns play who this week? They play.
Browns got the Ravens, and they got the Eagles. Fields got the Eagles.
I think I'd rather take my chances against the Ravens defense. I mean, they still they can be susceptible to just like some deep balls. So you get a bomb to Donovan Peoples Jones. Like,
Yeah,
the Eagles defense to me, I'd rather avoid them. And with Fields still not being 100% theoretically as well.
I do feel like the Eagles' one defensive weakness is stopping the run, and that's where you're really getting your Fields points, anyways.
That's true.
But
It's fair points.
I think I'm just starting. The upside for Fields is higher.
Was it Fields or Watson?
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
I'm back. I mean, and the problem with Watson is just is he ready to go? He's been rusty. He's got a couple of weeks, so he can he's coming back. But can you trust him right now? Fields can get in the end zone. Watson's got a touchdown since he joined 2 weeks.
I'm playing Fields for sure in that if I get that decision. I mean, even against the Eagles, I don't feel like there's a ton of guys I want to start over Fields just because the upside is so high.
And they're gonna have to play catch up ball the whole time.
And you just got a week to get a little more healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'd probably roll with Fields on that one.
I have no support for Watson. You can't pay me to start him. So Cerveza, you were giving us a good story, and then it turned into you playing charades. So maybe we can go back and talk about your playoff victory or your victory into the playoffs.
Oh yeah. So no, we already got that one. I was telling you about that. My masseuse was one of the Watson masseuses.
Oh, we didn't even hear that part.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So my masseuse was one of the
Clay's
ones
like,
that
I'm
was
gone.
on ESPN, like with her name on it and everything. And she's since like left town, changed her name, all that kind of stuff. So for many reasons, it's just obviously creepy stuff, but it's like, we're degens. There's money on the line. Don't I owe it to myself to give myself the best team? At the same time, I don't know if he gives me that chance right now.
Well,
Yeah,
he doesn't give
I
you a
think he's-
massage therapist either because she
I think
left.
he's-
I'm sorry, Clay.
I didn't even have to
It
pay
was
full
right
price. It was good, man. It was really good, and she was a great girl too. I mean, she was a good, like we were friends. So on super
It
many
went
levels.
downhill so quick. Hey, Jungle, talk about the injuries, bro. We got some big
Oh,
ones.
this is a wild week of injuries. I was sending you that list, and I was like, "Oh man, is this too
You
many?"
sent me
But
that
there's
list, and I said, "Oh man!" I was like, "Oh man, I need to make more faces on here." Look
a
at
lot
the
of relevant
list.
guys. Kyler Murray's dead. Russell Wilson, bad
R.I.P.
concussion. He's unlikely to play.
R.I.P.
Purdy is an abdominal strain, I believe. It sounds like he's leaning to play. Mike White's probably got some broken ribs. He could play through that. I think they're going to flag check him up probably. Ramondre had an ankle, came back. Same ankle bugged him and didn't come back after half. He's questionable and leading to a very muddy Patriots backfield. Tyler Huntley got concussed, and we don't know his status. Tyler Boyd out. Higgins out with a hammy, I think, for Higgins. I don't know. What did happen to Boyd? Finger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boyd, okay. Boyd is a finger. Damian Pierce is out 1 to 2 weeks. He's definitely not playing this week, though. Tyreek Hill had, I think, a groin, and he kind of came back and had that crazy touchdown. But sounds like he's looking to play. Corey Davis concussion, and he should be out. Kenny Pickett concussion. I haven't heard much about where he is in the protocol.
I haven't seen anything.
Debo's probably out for all of the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah.
Season at the end.
It's a shame. I think he's my favorite player in the league, and it's a shame.
Who?
Debo.
He's just so fun.
Dude,
to watch.
he's electric.
I'm a Seahawks fan, and I like watching Debo.
Yeah.
So.
I'm a Cowboys fan, and every year I'm just betting on the Niners to win it all. So
check out the nail biter. 100.97 or 100.53.
Damn.
Nice and close.
I hope that was for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
We need to find out. Someone hit him up in Discord. All right, here's what WizKids had for the win. Burrow, Chubb, Zeke, Smith, Davis, Jefferson, Gesicki, Williams, and the Bucks D.
Gesicki. He played?
And he played Shadow Knight. Tua, Etienne, Singletary, Thielen, Brown, Waddle, Kelsey, Schultz, and the Bills. Man, so it looks like
he played.
Travis let him down, and Singletary let him down. Someone find out in the chat if Shadow Knight lost and it knocked him out of the playoffs. I want to know the full story. We got to know it.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad team on paper.
No.
Yeah,
how about some tight end talk, Jungle?
I'm sick of this guy. Get him off my screen.
The greatest tight end ever play, Evan Ingram, makes his
Ever.
12th appearance on the waiver list here. Hunter Henry had 70 yards and a good matchup. He's got another good matchup this week. I think they got the Raiders. Is that what it is? Who the Pats got?
Is Taysom Hill the scariest tight end to go against if it's not one of the top guys? Whenever you see him in the opposing guy's lineup, are you just like, oh my God, he's going to throw 2 touchdowns and get 30
So I've got Mark Andrews in a league that's an aggregate that I had Ramondre and Hollywood on Monday night. Was projected to be about tied coming out of it, and then Kyler went down. Hollywood didn't do much, and he had 4 points, and then Ramondre didn't do really anything. So now I'm kind of looking. Mark Andrews hasn't done shit for weeks, and Taysom's available. But I think I might pull the trigger on the dynamite there and see what I can get. They're playing Atlanta too.
I had Taysom Hill for so many weeks after that one big one that he had, and then dude did nothing.
He is playing more quarterback snaps now. He's played a few every game. He's getting some more rushes. So he's definitely getting more involved. 2 or 3 games ago, he had a 23% snap share, which is pretty fantastic when you're getting those snaps at every position.
Yeah. Well, he was out.
He caught a nice touchdown last week, and then Cabo would have been the game sealer against the Bucks, and then just got jacked by that safety. But I mean, he's getting plays. The upside's definitely there, but the floor is real low.
Clay, who were your tight ends?
They were trash. Not Evan Ingram.
No,
I had let's see. Did I have Pitts on this team? No, I did not. So I had Dawson Knox and Big Bob Tonyan.
Oh, I thought Teddy would have a better year.
I thought they both would. I mean, honestly, man, like the whole Bills offense this year was like disappointing. I don't know if it's the
Knox has
Dable
been
effect or what, but it's just
decent.
like it's tough. Had
They don't have a very
Allen,
good line.
a lot of Gabe, a lot of I had a lot of every fucking body, but I had a lot of Knox too because I really liked where his like draft slot was, especially like a tight end too, and like a lot of best ball teams or season long drafts. Even if I wait on a tight end, like he was somebody I was like happy taking because I was like, oh, you kind of bank on a touchdown. You feel like, or you bank on like 4 for 50 or 5 for 40. You're gonna get like 9 points or so. You hope most weeks in a PPR league, and just didn't really play out like that, which is just kind of like that felt. I don't know. Should have been better.
Yeah, I feel like the tight ends. I mean, obviously you got your like 3 or 4, right? That are your top tight ends, and then the rest. It's been like so up and down for everybody all season long. And I felt like every time I swapped a tight end, the other one would do better on the bench for me. So then I'd start overthinking myself even more and did the switch to kind of trick myself. Still didn't work ever.
Andrews
Except this week with Evan Ingram.
It's Kelsey, and then that's it. And Kelsey is your only stud, reliable guy this year.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, if you're redrafting now, he'd be a top 5 pick.
Easily no.
So would Geno Smith.
And who's the number 2 tight end?
Rest of the season?
Evan
No, just I mean like who throughout the whole season has been number 2?
It's Mark Andrews still because he had so many blow up weeks early.
Mm-hmm.
And Evan Ingram moved up to number 4 on the year from that one. And he's had a couple decent games, but 4 on the year from that blow up. Taysom is like 3 or 5. It's
that's fucked up. Taysom's not done shit this year. Like.
Well, he's had like 3 games.
It's like a 4 touchdown game.
What's Jeff Driscoll fucking tight end 7 on the year? Like, what the hell are we doing out here? Like, God damn it.
All right, so guys, we're gonna do the Toilet Bowl Awards. Jungle Goat, Cerveza, stay backstage, don't leave. I'm gonna bring you guys back up here in a second. Clay, I think we need to talk about this. This was one of those things I actually messaged Clay and I was like, I don't even know if I want to do it. And then Clay and I talked about it. We were like, no. The shade must be thrown.
Oh, we roasting.
Because
we roasting.
This man right here, ladies and gentlemen, the lowest score to end the regular season, the one, the only, snap back Jack.
Oh man, he snapped back into a bunch of zeros. I'll tell you what, my God. Hold on, goose eggs.
What happened, bro?
You know what?
Look at that.
Jack's been globetrotting. He's been out here going to Monday Night Football games and all.
Yeah.
I mean,
too busy.
This is a bad look. This is a bad look. And in true Degen spirit, man, like we're gonna celebrate the wins and we're gonna roast you a little bit for the bad L's too. This is not it's bad. But
I tried so hard to find a picture of him where he wears the wig like he's in the judge.
Oh, the court thing?
Yeah, I couldn't find a good picture to put on the graphic, man. I really wanted the court look.
We're sentencing him to probation on in the KFFL. So
oh my God, Jack, snap back, bro. Like, come on, we need you back, bro. This was that was pretty rough. I mean, you don't even have to break down the roster. Congratulations, Jack. You are this week's Toilet Bowl winner.
We out here.
Now we'll bring Jungle Cerveza back to see them. Okay, did you like that? We had
that lineup had like 2 guys that were active. So
and it brings the question of, did the person who beat him get into the playoffs because he had 16 points?
Yeah.
Good question. We need to find out. What we got left? Jungle, a little bit of defense. Let's wrap that up.
There's some interesting starts this week, just matchup based stuff. The Commanders are an actual good defense, and they've got the Giants, which is it's looked all right. They had 11 points against them when they played a couple weeks ago.
Speaking of the Commanders,
like 5.
Speaking of the Commanders, I just got to share it. But did you guys see? I had the chance to interview Santana Moss last week. Yeah, it was freaking great. Yeah, got to sit down. We talked about his time as a Jet, obviously his time as a pre-commander with the Redskins and his, him working over there. So I shared the video out with everybody so they can check that interview out. But you mentioned Commanders, and it just made me think about it. Continue.
Nice.
My apologies.
Nice. No, that's awesome. Let's see. We've got Cardinals got the Broncos, who are probably starting Brett Rippon, and the Cardinals. I mean, the defense isn't great, but they get after the quarterback. So, you're gonna probably have some turnovers there. Probably get some sacks. Same thing. The Browns are probably playing against this undrafted rookie quarterback, most likely. Anthony, I think what's his last name? Miller. Is that right? And then the Saints, who have a much different logo than that, are playing against Desmond Ridder in his first start.
It says Seahawks.
It's the second time you threw the Seahawks logo on some random ass team.
It's like
you got some weird affinity for the Seahawks, man. I don't know if it's some.
You know what? Maybe it's my
Pete
attachment to
Carroll
Geno
love
or
Russell Wilson
something.
love
I
or-
don't know, man.
Does that Seahawks look like a jet to you?
You like the Arizona
They got
defense
Geno,
more or
bro.
the Denver defense?
PTSD.
Honestly, I think they're both good plays. I feel like Colt McCoy is a little less likely to turn it over, but I think they're both good plays. Denver's a better defense. What's that?
He was getting smashed at the end of that game, but I don't know if that was just like the end of the day. It was over. Let's get out of here, or sign of things to come.
I think they're both good plays. They're absolutely both playable. I think the Broncos have they're more rostered though, just because they're actually good.
Yeah, I mean they're loose in my league. I'm considering. I've got Washington. I've got Pittsburgh, but they've been good as a team, but not for points.
I wouldn't play Pittsburgh. I don't think. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good week for streaming defenses, I'd say. I picked up some guys look aheads that mostly for I got a lot of the Titans for next week, but I get the Chiefs, get the Texans this week. Although Texans looked a little better, or a lot better, but closer to a normal NFL team. But I still think that's a fine matchup to play.
I think we know, from spending so much time watching the Texans down in Houston, it's like if Kyle Allen is playing, it's going to be a turnover city. If it's Mills, it's just not going to be that bad. They're not going to win, but it's not just going to be a massive disaster. They're fairly competent, maybe, with Mills.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So Reza, with you making the playoffs, I mean, are you in a position right now where you're pretty good with the team you got, or are you thinking of hitting the waiver wire trying to find some pieces?
I mean, my team is super sick, I think. My problem's at quarterback. There's some guys I'm looking at, White, Purdy. I don't know who's watching and how much I can say right now in case they want to play some defense. But those are some guys I'm looking at. My main question is Alvin Kamara. For the last 5 weeks, he's been, I think 18th was his highest RB 18. After that, pretty bad. Can you sit this guy? They're off a bye. It is against Atlanta, so maybe you don't make that move. But that just brings a question. Can you sit your studs if they're just not playing like studs? But I mean, I'm
always of the belief that you can sit your studs if you've got guys that you feel better about. I mean, I make questionable roster decisions all the time just because I've got a feeling or this or that. I mean,
yes, 7 lost steeds to confirm.
God damn. Damn.
I
would agree too,
except for crazy matchups.
It's all relative, right? But with Kamara, especially the Falcons are just that's a team that I feel like he generally plays very well against. It's in division, which I think there's just always a little bit more on the line in that regard. Neither one of them really have anything to play for, and it's not even a draft pick situation.
And he's coming off the bye. He might have a little bit of that.
I mean, if it wasn't the Falcons, I would say sit him for sure. I mean, in most scenarios, honestly, because I don't think they have hardly anything to play for at this point. If you're the
They're both very much in that division race, actually.
Really, God, the Panthers are right, so they all are. I mean,
they all are.
I mean, my other option other than Kamara would be Brian Robinson. And he had 20 points or something last time against the Giants.
But he is getting more involved.
13. But I do think the biggest
in full PPR, I think I'm still going to start Kamara.
I think so. The bigger question is I'm pretty stacked at receiver. Hopkins, Brown, Metcalf, Pittman. But it's Is Hopkins going to struggle because it's cold? I've got Zay Jones. I've got DJ Chark. I mean, guys that just came off 20-point bangers. I don't think I'm going to go away from the studs there, but it's a question. You gotta score. You gotta score as much as you can. You gotta win. I want.
You talking about Hollywood Brown?
No, AJ Brown. I mean, that guy I'm playing him for sure.
AJ Brown.
Yeah. That
is a little dicey. I'm going to start DJ Chark this week. I think he's going to see a lot of Sauce Gardner. But, I mean, question is, like, Zay Pittman, I feel like is a pretty reasonable question. It's just the Vikings give up so much in the passing game, but the Colts are so bad at passing.
I'm probably going to stick as is. And, with do I still have, like, the highest score ever in 1 week on here of all time?
What's the highest, or you want to score?
Do I still own the highest score?
What did you have?
218 or something like that.
You're still up top.
It's like, so I took that money and I bought a steed. And it's like, I just want to win 2 more weeks and let's get a second steed for $100. I mean, that's.
But man, you guys just keep throwing them up for me to just smash them. I'm gonna say, you want a steed? Just put a bet against Jungle Goat this week, bro. I'm sorry, you guys just keep lobbing. I'm like, Jungle's like, screw you.
No, I deserved it. Yeah. I lost a lot of steeds.
But I do want to say,
so this might take a second, so I want to jump into it before we end the show. But I want to look at the top 4 from each division. Big Sean, Christian Mingle, Just 10 Soccer, and Flip Nasty are the 4 in that division getting ready to go at it. B Right 111, Ice Billion, Jungle Goat, and Randy Marsh 0. Top 4 teams.
Yeah, that 4th spot in my division was super competitive. There was like 4 guys vying for it that last week. Ended up being like a 10-point difference. It was really tight.
Huh. Well, this one we got Taylor Gang, C Note, Cope Chris, and Good Juju. Obviously, you made it into the top 4. Dan Fitz Dynasty, Allie's Coffee Brandy, Sergeant Stogie, that has to be Squirrel, you would think, or Smoke a Lot of Potamus. And then KOD Commish, because whoever that is didn't bother putting their name in there, so all I saw was KOD Commish. Fluff Master Flex, dope name, Wade the Video Guy, TV Reruns, and Moonlanders. Another KOD Commish, Grizz901, Jay Peterson, Knowles Racing. It's got to be chicken.
Beyonce? Is that Beyonce?
Oh, that's what, I had it wrong. Another KOD Commish. Who Day, Evening Jones, and WJ Feng.
EJ, what's up?
Johnny, the Canuck fan. Mezdez, R the Dog, Agent Squirrel.
I think that was Johnny Can Uck fan.
I thought it was Canuck, like some Canadian type slang or something, right? All right, whatever. Dizzy J, 1414. Jay-Z Out Muscle, KOD Commish, and SOB. Go ahead, Jungle, your turn.
I'm on Ramen Noodles. JT.PCC.
That's one of the best. That's one of the best names I've heard all season. That's fantastic. That's great.
There you go. I like that one.
Mind Goblins and NorCal something.
Right behind KOD Commission. That's the most original one I've heard of.
I actually thought that was
our commissioners didn't
one
bother to do it. Yeah, because they had to be set up that way, and then when they got
so Joe could have ability to like see all of the data for the leaderboard and stuff. So he had everyone like set up one with like KOD Commission. Some people just didn't change it to be like who they were. So we know who they are, but just like when it shows up on like the leaderboard or in here.
Got it.
Yeah, when it shows up to the guy who has to do the graphics and all
KOD
Commission. I'm like, damn it.
All season I was trying to figure out if one guy was in all 20 leagues.
I was kind of the same thing.
Sir Lake on this
go
one.
back a bit. There's a David Hodge there. I see he's pretty active.
Yeah, Dave's right there.
Yeah.
David Hodge, Country Says, Buffalo. Oh, we had Mezdez in the chat. He even said, let's go. Max 93, Bitter of Bids, A Coach's wife, Sir Lake. Torcia? KOD Commish, Guillermo's.
Guillermo's is in the house.
Yeah, Sir Razor. You guys made it to the playoffs. Hank 7, I am the great one. Washubik? Oh, Washubik. Okay. KF23. You want to tell me which way you guys would have gone on that one? It looked like wash your beak. All right. DJ NFT, Duke River Barbecue, Drunken Marauders. What a night. I'm a Degen. Cantana, Sir Benny and the Jets. Wiki. 4260. We had a lot of divisions. I'm a Degen. Wait, it's the same ones. Is that the end of it? We made it. Oh, wait.
Congrats.
Coach Richie 22. Yahtzee 4. Old Shovel Face. JT is living the dream. Said pizza.
Their pizza.
Goddamn Jets. Chaz.
It's the highest scoring team,
And
wasn't
then
it?
look at Mr. I Quit Fantasy Forever. Jerry Ferreira making it in with his LeBrons. But in the beginning of the season, I quit fantasy. I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. And then the dude makes the playoffs.
I thought Thomas Crowder made the playoffs. I didn't see his name, so I guess not.
Who?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Who?
I got it.
You gave him credibility, Clay.
That's a steed.
Jungle, send one over. Guys.
Oh, man.
What do you want to touch on before we go? And then I'll throw up the
Oh, we didn't have running backs, actually.
we didn't get to the running backs.
Running backs don't matter. We learned anything from this draft season.
Well, if you want, start breaking down your list and I'll find the graphic.
Zonovan Knight is somehow still less than 60% rostered. He is
Bam is the
He
truth.
looks fantastic. I think you just got to start him. That Lions defense has looked a little better, especially against the run. But you're starting Bam now unless you've got some really great options. The Patriot situation is really muddy. We don't know if Ramondre is going to play. Damon Harris might be back. He was doubtful and kind of a game time decision coming into this week. If he's back, he's probably the lead guy.
What was that kid's name that they played last night? Strong?
Two guys. There's Pierre Strong and then also Kevin Harris.
Did you guys watch the game last night? I mean, the boys got some wheels, man. I'm like, leave it to the Patriots to find a guy that's going to be out of nowhere. But Strong was
that Kevin Harris kid too. He was SEC leading rusher 2 years ago, and then essentially was hurt all last year. Was like a 6th-round pick or something. But I mean, he's got some pedigree there. Problem is, if all these guys are active, if Ramondre's active, I think you still play him. But I don't know what else you do right there. If you would
think he's still their number one, obviously. But
absolutely,
definitely break up the touches for everybody.
But if you've got Damon Harris, Pierre Strong, and Kevin Harris splitting the workload, I don't really see how you can start any of these guys with any sort of faith. You're hoping Ramondre or Damien out, and then you kind of flip a coin on these rookies. I think I'd lean Pierre Strong. I guess Kevin Harris isn't technically a rookie, but and we got Chuba Hubbard. He looked pretty good. He had 17 touches, 79 yards, and a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Granted, Seattle's defense is not good, so that'll help you look good. But he still had less snaps than Deontay Foreman. But they're going to carry. I mean, they're going to run it as much as they can. So I think you do all right. He had a couple catches. I think I got Matt Breida on my list as kind of just a stash. Saquon's health has been a little on the mend, and I'm pretty sure Breida would get the bulk of the work there. He's more of a guy you kind of want in case you need him if you don't really need anybody to start. Tyler Algier, they're gonna. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they run it 75% of their plays this week with Desmond Ridder. It could be a decent game for all those backs, but Tyler Algier's like 42% rostered, and his workload's, not linearly gone up, but it's gone up a lot over the season. And then you've got Travis Homer. His stats weren't very good, but he had like 95% of the running back snaps last week. Ken Walker's still day-to-day, but I'd be shocked if he played at this point. So probably do it again. Problem is, it's going to be a nasty matchup. But
because Homer walked away with 5 points, I think, last week.
Yeah. So, I mean, I figure with that pressure they're going to bring, I'll probably get more catches this week. But, it's one of those. And then I actually really like the idea of stashing Jordan Mason. He had 11 carries this week, had about 55 yards, I think. About similar stat line to last week. But CMC's shown an ability to get banged up, and this is a guy who could be an absolute league winner if something happens to CMC. So you're not playing him, but I want him on my team.
Solid picks. I'm all about the Bam pick. I am. Of course, I'm a Jet.
I couldn't.
That boy, I
almost didn't even look at his roster percentage thinking it should have been well over that. So I was shocked to see that he qualified.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Michael
Well, you
Carter's
can
coming back,
tell
league
you can
winner.
tell in each in each one of our leagues or divisions where there's a possible Jets fan in there because that's when that Bam is gone in, and then the ones that aren't Jets fan, Bam is just sitting there.
Was that a Michael Carter shout out?
Might have been.
And see love. All right, Clay. Here's the leaderboard, bro. Top 5 as of right
Again.
now.
Not me. No. Shout out Dan Fitz Dynasty. 2042. Sheesh.
It's just wild.
That's a little more than I got.
Slightly more than I got. Yeah, damn sure.
Although, in fairness, I actually clinched like 4 weeks ago in our division because I was 9-1, or maybe 3 weeks ago. So I have not been doing much other than getting my defenses for the playoffs. In fairness, not that I would have gotten 2,000 points, but
Jesus, my points for is so bad. Also, I have so much fab left over. Like, what the fuck was I doing?
I scored 218 points one week. That guy's still got 380 more points than I do total. It's just wild.
He's got like
It's called
500 more than I do.
consistency. Yeah.
Yeah.
I consistently am nowhere near like the top 100. See, consistent. Okay. In points for, points against, I just suck evenly across the board. Okay. I want to do, you know what would be great if we can go in sleeper and go find out who put the most points up on the bench. Because I'm telling you, I might be top 5 for making the worst decisions week in and week out to where that top player was on my bench. I bet you I can get a steed.
Part of that was you rostered to like, fuck.
That might be a worse indictment than anything else.
You've been rostering 2 top 7 quarterbacks all season, and neither one are going to play the playoffs.
Yeah, and then I denied a trade with Lamar.
Well, that
would have been I mean, obviously at the time made sense, but you actually made a trade with Lamar for Lamar. So you're literally living out the mistake. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, that wasn't that does not bode well for my chances here. The team I'm playing is pretty solid.
Clay, Mezdez would like to know. It's got 79 fab bucks left. Trade in for
84.
KOD collectible.
84. What the fuck was I doing? Was there
And then you got Tom, freaking Hanks, has $0 left.
That's why Tom's
I'm down to
advancing the
6.
playoffs. So
I'm down to 6, and I don't think you can even make a waiver wire pickup with $0. Like you have to make a bid.
So you
can do 0. It just goes down to waiver
after
order.
they run.
Like if no one's placed a bid for $1 on them, then it goes through waiver order.
I feel like I tried one time.
No, it has to be after it runs.
Does it?
Then you can get them for 0. Yeah.
Yeah, on Thursday, right?
Wait, just tomorrow. I mean, I've had competitive leagues before that ran at like 1 a.m. and I had an alarm set, so I could go in and make my $0 changes after at like 1:01 a.m.
Smart. And that's why you're in the playoffs. And I just help run a show about everybody's playoff run. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us and enjoying Cerveza and Jungle Goat's celebration of the playoffs while Clay and I had to sit here with a fake smile for an entire 59 minutes.
If I manage to squeak it out, my overall Steeds record will be 4-8.
Yeah. Such a
Better you have fucking Evan Ingram.
Clay's leaving here sleeping and going to dream about Evan Ingram all night.
I'm going to go plan this wedding that I don't have money for because Evan Ingram stole it all. So.
Oh, man. Clay, man, appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Cerveza,
always a pleasure, fellas.
Thanks for letting me.
Yeah. Shout out to you all. Shout out to everyone who participated in the KFFL. Like, what an awesome accomplishment for us. Like, year one, super dope to have a great prize pool. A lot of great community support. I think it was just like really fun to see the, constant flow going on in that channel like all season long, which is really, really dope. So very excited to turn it up, weeks 15, 16, 17 here. It's gonna be special. We're down to the count. So expect to see the leaderboard get updated. Our boy Pat, shout out Pat on the dev team, has been working on that tirelessly amidst a ton of other shit, including bet to earn and a lot of other dev work coming up.
Stop, cut him off.
Hey,
Clay's gonna do that thing he does.
Cut it off.
Stop. That's it. Show over. Thanks for watching.
Shining and boy, we winning. We about to make a killing. I don't care what you feeling. I know you wanna steal it. Want it, then come and get it. You want it, then come and get it. You want it, then come and get it. Hold up, wait a minute.